Brayton, Jet, where are you guys? I've started the filming.
We're right here. Hey, honey. What's up, guys? It's Hockey Town, and today we're gonna be doing free agency review part 2. So, Jed, do you want to start or should I?
You can start.
So we're gonna do the same thing as last time with high or low. So let's start it off with Florida. So they signed Oliver Ekman-Larsson to a 1-year, $2.25 million deal. So he got bought out by the Canucks this summer because he was making like $7 million. But I think he's still got something to prove because he has shown very good numbers in the past when he was with Arizona. So, Jed, do you think that's high or low? 2.25 for Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
2.25.
1 year, too.
High or low?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit high.
I think it's just right. I think he's still got it in him to be good. I think it just didn't work with Vancouver because with Arizona, he scored 20 power play goals at least. So 20 power play goals at least. But with Quinn Hughes, he didn't really get that power play time. So I think he could still be that guy for Florida. And next for Florida, Evan Rodriguez, 4 years, $3 million. Thoughts?
4 years, $3 million?
Yep.
Wow. I think he's a pretty good player, but I think maybe a bit high, but
I feel like it's high, but last season, it wasn't his greatest season, but the year before that, playing with Crosby, I don't know for sure if he was on the first line, but either first or second, he had a pretty good year. So I think it's a little high, but nothing spectacularly high. So now we're moving on to the Los Angeles Kings. Cam Talbot, $1 million deal. Oh, 1 year, sorry. 1 year, $1 million deal. What are your thoughts, Jet?
fair, just right.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, he's getting pretty old, and they don't have Jonathan Quick or Cal Peterson anymore, so I hope that he'll be able to fill the role of a starter goalie. And this guy, he's a pretty good prospect. He hasn't proved himself yet, but Tobias Bjornfoot, 2 years, $775K, so league minimum. He is a pretty decent prospect. What are your thoughts, Jet?
I don't know him. I don't know.
So I think it's one of those deals where it's if he's good, it's like a bridge deal, right? Now we're moving on to the Minnesota Wild, and they only signed one notable guy that I thought was good enough to put on here. So Philip Gustafson, 3 years, $3.75 million. So I think it's a good deal. I don't think he gets to start over Fleury, but it could happen. They'll probably split. What are your thoughts, Jet?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good deal. Yeah, but I think Fleury's for sure going to be the starter.
And for this one, I put a little section in with key departures because they lost in free agency Dumba, who went to the Arizona Coyotes, I think. And they also lost Klingberg, who went to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, yeah. And now our fourth one, Montreal Canadiens. They only had one again. So we got Alex Newhook, 4 year, $2.9 million.
So,
What are your thoughts on it?
fair, maybe a bit lower. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good too. I mean, he hasn't really proven himself, but he's still young. I think, say, if he right now it's a little high, but if he takes his game to the next level on Montreal, which is a young team, it could turn out to be a pretty good deal. And now we're moving on to Nashville. This is a big one. One of the biggest ones one of the biggest signings this summer, in my opinion. Ryan O'Reilly, 4-year, $4.5 million. What are your thoughts, Jet?
Fair, I guess. Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good deal. I mean, he's getting older, but like he's still shown that he can produce. And I mean, he won the Conn Smythe in St. Louis's 2019 Cup run, so he proves he's good enough to play at that playoff level. And next up, we have Luke Shen to a 3-year, $2.75 million. What are your thoughts, Jet?
Well, I know I've been saying fair this whole time, but that's fair again.
I think he's a really good player. He's not that big of like a point producer, but like he's a good player to have on your team. He was really good when Vancouver was on their team, right? So I think he's a good player to have on your team. Okay, Jet, you're taking over now. We got New Jersey up next.
Michael McLeod, 1 year, $1.4 million.
I think it's fair. I mean, he's still only 24, so he's got something to prove. I mean, it's fair, right? He's like a solid third, maybe even second liner, but on New Jersey's depth, since they're a pretty good team and they're probably cup contenders this year. I'd say he's probably a solid third liner, which is good value for 1.4. That's not bad.
Next one, Nathan Bastian, 2 year, $2.7 million.
He's a solid defenseman. He could play second or third pair. I mean, he's solid. He can play. He's also young too. He's only 25, so 2 young guys getting signed, which is nice to see.
Moving on to New York, Ilya Sorokin, 8 year, $8.25 million.
So this, Jet, is an extension. So he's not actually a free agent or an RFA, but they extended him. So when he becomes a free agent, Jet, they won't have to sign him because they already did. And I think it's good value. I mean, he proved he's top 5 goalies in the league this year with his performance. And, like, he's showing that he can compete along the likes of Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, like those kind of caliber guys, right? Jake Ottinger. So I think it's a pretty good deal. The term is good. The term will take him till he's like 37, so they better hope he's still a pretty good player. I've noticed that New York is really giving out the term. The Islanders, they're really giving out the term here.
Scott Mayfield, 7 year, $3.5 million.
I think the price is good. I mean, he's a solid second, third pair defenseman. I think the price is good for him, but like 7 years, he's like 30 already, right? So it seems like the term's a little bit much, but I think the price is fair too.
Moving on to New York Rangers, Keandre Miller, 2 year, $3.872 million.
So I think that's a good deal. I mean, he kind of proved that he can be that guy for the Rangers going up the stretch. He's still young, and he had a good season last year. I mean, if they get him playing with Adam Fox, then it should be good. But, yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Alexis Lafreniere, 2 year, $2.325 million.
Obviously, still lots to prove being a first overall pick in 2021, or maybe it's 2020. I can't get my stuff straight up. My brain isn't working today. But he's a good player. I mean, that's a little high for how he's playing right now. He played third line last year. Get down.
Ollie,
Get down.
Ollie, come on.
Okay. But third line last year. Third line last year. So I think if he takes his game like the New Hook deal, right? It's kind of a bridge deal, but not really. If he takes his game to that next level, like his game's here, if he takes it to here, then it's a good deal, right? I think he's still got lots left to prove. And another key signing, even though it's only 2, even though I'm only allowed 2, it's just a quick one. Blake Wheeler, which $800K I think is a good deal. So I think that's something to look out for. And now, Jet, now we have key departures. So Tarasenko left to sign with Ottawa, and Patrick Kane still hasn't been signed anywhere, so he's still looking for a deal in the free agency market.
Okay.
So
moving on to Ottawa. Vladimir Tarasenko, 1 year, $5 million.
I think that's a good deal. He was also part of that St. Louis Cup run with Ryan O'Reilly, so I think he can still prove he can perform, right? Of course, the Rangers took on Tarasenko and Kane just for like a playoff run, which kind of ended after New Jersey took him out in the first round. But I think that's good. I think it's good value for him. I think that's a big piece to pick up after losing to Brinket. So I think it's worth it. Of course, if you don't already know, they just traded Alex DeBrincat to Detroit. So I think Tarasenko is someone good to fill that spot.
Jonas Korpisalo, 5 year, $4 million.
Yeah, I think that's a good deal. I mean, I don't know who's going to get the start in Ottawa, Anton Forsberg or Jonas Korpisalo, but I think they could either split it or one of them takes the reins. I think it's a good deal, and Ottawa is an up-and-coming team, so they need a goalie that can stay with them as they're getting a lot better.
Moving on to Philadelphia. Cam York, 2 year, $1.6 million.
So I think that's a good deal. He hasn't really proven himself that much yet, but I mean, he's a good piece for Philly to have in their rebuilding team. I think he's like 24, or he's probably 23 or 24. So he's a good piece to have because Philly's just entering their rebuild. And yeah, he's going to be a good piece for them in the future, so I think it's a good deal.
Okay, last one, I think. Garnet Hathaway, 2 year, $2.375 million.
I think that's fair. I mean, he's not one of those guys that gets a lot of goals or anything. He's kind of that guy that you want to have on a playoff run, right? He won a cup. I'm pretty sure he was on the Washington team that won. I'm not positive, but I think he was. So he's that kind of guy you want in the playoffs, right? So I think that's a good deal. So, any last words, Jet?
Make sure to like and subscribe.
And we'll see you next video in part 3. So, see you next time.